Coming up in the morning edition, a new bill paving the way for members of the Baptist community to do business passed in the House of Assembly last evening. A former cabinet minister memorialized. And it's time to get saddled up as we take you on a horseback ride. It's a Thursday and the weekend is almost here. Good morning to all of you. I'm LaDawn Davis and this is the Morning Edition. Thank you so much for waking up with us. You are now looking at a live shot of cruise ships docked in the Nassau Harbor, courtesy of the ZNS Tower Cam here on Rusty Bethel Drive. Meanwhile, traffic reporter Sieska Adderley is standing by with traffic police. Good morning, Sieska.
Good Thursday morning, one and all. This morning's traffic report, we're coming to you live from Collins Avenue, just a few feet away from the intersection of 5th Terrace and Collins Avenue. And joining us live is Sergeant Crestania Johnson from the Traffic Division. And this morning we're talking defective vehicles. Good morning, Sergeant Johnson. How are you?
I am wonderful. Pleasant good morning again to you and Bahamas. Well, defective vehicles, we know that vehicles and things happen out of our control. For example, a flat tire. That happens that's not in our control sometimes. But for example, if your vehicle is the axle breaks, you hear that before it happens. If a trunk flies up, the hood flies up. These are things that we are very well aware of before they happen. So what we ask the general public to do is to have your vehicles checked, have them well maintained, because these things cause accidents. We do not want to, if your vehicle breaks down at a major intersection, we do not want to cause the general public any added inconvenience. We have your vehicle pulled to the side of the street, have your vehicle towed by a wrecker, so it does not inconvenience or obstruct the pathway of other road users.
Okay, and so at what point should you put on your hazard lights as well in case you can't get out of the way of oncoming traffic?
Immediately. As soon as you see that your vehicle is having some problems, you want to throw on those hazard lights. What the hazard light do, it alerts other drivers that your vehicle is having some problems. Then the other drivers are able to then adjust their route or adjust what they're doing so they can get past your vehicle.
So this is particularly a challenge definitely in high traffic areas as well as high traffic in terms of your morning commute as well.
Yes, we see this often on the highways. We see this often near the Marathon Road intersection. These, especially when people are going along their road, we have a high volume of traffic directed towards these persons when they're going along their commute. So we ask, if something happened in these particular areas, to please, if your vehicle cannot get to the side of the street at that particular time, put on your hazard lights and please contact a wrecker as soon as possible.
So in most cases, defective vehicles are really at the fault of the motorist. So you have a responsibility to not only drive safely on the road, but ensure that the vehicle that you're driving is safe as well.
Exactly. You said it well.
All right. Thank you so much, Sergeant Crestania Johnson. So motorists, be aware that not only to follow the rules of the road, but ensure that your vehicles are safe before you even get on the road. Back to you in the studio, LaDawn.
Thanks a lot, Sieska. And joining us live in studio to tell us how our morning is shaping up is Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good morning, Basil.
Good morning, LaDawn. The tropics remains quiet, and that should remain so for the next 5 days or so. And then we have that high pressure which is collapsing across the Bahamas. Those winds reducing to about 10 to 15 knots, as you'll see in our Bodie forecast in just a while. And we do have a few spotty showers in the central Bahamas, and that is pushing slowly towards the east. Outside of our studios, it is partly sunny. Temperature is 79 degrees, relative humidity 78%. Easterly winds at 7 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,015.3 millibars. That's 29.98 inches, and it is steady. Temperatures around the islands this morning: 77s in Marsh, Harbor, Abaco, also Green, Tulkey, Freeport 77, in the Berry Islands 81, 80 degrees in Allenstown, Bimini, Harbor Island 79, Roxanne, Eleuthera also 79 degrees in Otterstown, Cat Island 79. 78. 78 in Staniel Key, Kemps Bay, South Andros. Fresh Creek in Central Andros at 79 degrees. San Salvador and Rum Key, 78. 79 in Crooked Island, Clarencetown, Long Island. Betsy Bay, Meguana at 80. 80 in Acklands. Ragged Island, 79. 78 degrees in Matthewtown, Inagua, and Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. Your boating forecast for today: easterly winds at 10 to 15 knots in the northwest Bahamas. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Tide-wise is going to be high at 7:54 this morning, low tide at 2:19 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands, easterly winds as well. The speeds around 12 to 18 knots, and your wave heights 3 to 6 feet. That's going to do it for your first look at weather, the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Thanks a lot, Basil. In the news from the House of Assembly this morning, the Bahamas Baptist Missionary and Educational Convention Incorporated Bill 2018 now moves on to the Senate for debate after it was passed in the House of Assembly on Wednesday evening. The bill paves the way for a legal entity to be created for members of the Baptist community to conduct business. The bill will also create a legal office for trustees of the Bahamas Baptist Missionary and Educational Convention. Leader of the opposition, Philip Davis, says the opposition supports the bill, also remembering the history of the Baptist movement being at the forefront in the march to majority rule.
Let us lift up the spirit of St. William, because one of the things they continue to say about us as Bahamians, we passive, we are not controversial, but that is not true. We are activists in our own way. We still have the spirit of Prince William in us. Just sometimes we don't let it be known that let us always appreciate that the work is not done. There's still a lot of land to be possessed. And I invite you to continue your work in ensuring that that land is possessed in truth and in fact.
And for Seabreeze, the Honorable Anisha Roll also supported the bill.
The Baptist is and was an organization always forward-thinking, always forward-looking, and always forward-moving. Today we are here to support another great move of the church, in particular the Bahamas Baptist Missionary and Educational Convention, to be incorporated and to be recognized as a corporate soul. Mr. Speaker, I support this move and commend such a bill to enhance and advance the work of the church.
The House of Assembly has adjourned until November 21st at 10 a.m. Also in the news this morning, wife of the Prime Minister, Patricia Minnis, visited the Preston H. Albury High School in Roxanne Eleuthera on Tuesday. While there, she spoke to female students about gender-based violence, including inappropriate touching and bullying. Mrs. Minnis also participated with students in a Junkanoo ensemble. Additionally, she later visited the Emma E. Cooper Primary and the Central Eleuthera High School. Services at the passport office were back to normal following a work stoppage by staff on Tuesday. Operations at the facility were put on hold Tuesday after several workers reportedly experienced health complications from mold. An extensive cleaning and mold removal exercise was conducted over the weekend. Acting Chief Passport Officer Siobhan Dean says the services of the local cleaning company was contracted to remove mold and to conduct extensive cleaning services in the passport building. She says her team took the necessary steps to protect the health of its workers. Last night, family and hundreds of supporters gathered at a memorial service to pay their respects to the late Honorable Bradley Roberts at the Progressive Liberal Party's headquarters. Mr. Roberts passed away last month at his home. Roberts played an instrumental role in the Progressive Liberal Party, earning the name Big Bad Brad. He served as Chairman Emeritus of the party and a former Member of Parliament for the Baines and Grantstown constituency. At the service, numerous tributes were given by former colleagues and friends. Among them was former Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Perry Christie, who spoke of one of his lasting contributions to national development.
My government made a decision based on Bradley's advice when he brought the paper to Cabinet to spend $68 million putting fiber optic cable throughout the Bahamas, and we did not discriminate against those islands that were less developed islands, because we knew that just as the child in New Providence and Freeport had access to the internet, we wanted the same thing for not just Exuma and Abaco, but for the smaller islands with smaller populations. And we did that. Bradley will forever be remembered.
Mr. Roberts will be laid to rest tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. at an official funeral at St. Francis Xavier Cathedral. He was 74 years old. The ZMS Morning Edition team sends condolences to his family. Stay close. We've got more news right after this quick break.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
Meanwhile, Bahamian Shanae Miller-Ubu broke a 16-year-old Commonwealth Games record as she clinched gold in the women's 200 meters final.
To the morning edition. 6 out of 18 students from schools across the capital got some new eyewear thanks to the generosity of a private donor in honor of World Sight Day that was observed in October. During eye examinations, all the students were diagnosed with a number of eye challenges. The new glasses were presented to the recipients during a presentation ceremony at the Eye Care Center Tuesday on Soldier Road. Mother of Jeffrey L. Bannister, Latanya Bannister, thanked the private donor for the much-needed gift.
Well, actually, I didn't know she had a problem with seeing until she brought home a letter from school. And upon coming here and receiving the eye examination, I was really in awe because I really didn't know it was that severe. And it was told to me that she was nearsighted. So receiving these eyewear, it's really a blessing. Okay, and I'm very thankful for her being chosen as one of the recipients to receive the eye care during the World Sight Day.
Manager of Imperial Optical, Louis Albury, was super excited to be able to hand-deliver the fancy glasses to the deserving recipients.
This took place on World Sight Week, which was actually October the 7th to the 13th. And of course, like they say, there was the need for children eye care and all that. And so Imperial Optical provided to about 18 children a new pair of glasses. We have 14 of the glasses completed, and today there are 6 of those children here to receive them.
St. Francis Xavier Cathedral's Bazaar is this coming Saturday, and joining us live in studio on the Morning Edition is Committee Chairperson Deborah Wood to tell us all about it. Deborah, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Thank you.
Okay, Deborah, so how long has St. Francis been hosting this bazaar, and will it take place this year?
We've been having our bazaar now for the past 35 plus years.
And we have it on the grounds of the cathedral, which is located West Hill Street, Prairie Grounds, opposite the area, opposite the National Museum.
And what will actually make this bazaar different from previous years that you guys have hosted it there?
This year we actually have 2 pre-owned vehicles. As you know, they're economical and they're easy to maneuver on the streets. So we also have additional attractions for the children. We have a petting zoo, so they can go around, pet the animals. We have pony rides and lots of other attractions.
Now, this is the part I like. Talk to me a little bit about the raffle and what are some of the prizes you guys have on tap for us winners for this year?
Okay, yes, we have 8 additional prizes. In addition to the 2 vehicles, we have 8 additional prizes. We have a round trip for 2 on Bahamas Air. We have 2 wristwatches, ladies and gents. We have a $500 BPL voucher. I'm sure we can use that. And we also have lots of other prizes.
Okay, so Deborah, I guess you can...
Sorry, just $2.
And talk to us a little bit about, I guess you can remind viewers when and where, I guess, the bazaar would actually take place.
Okay, it's this Saturday from 12 noon until 10 p.m., but the actual raffle is being drawn at 9 p.m. Again, Prairie Grounds, West Hill Street.
Deborah Wood, thank you so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition.
You're very welcome.
And finally, in this portion of the news, how many Bahamians are into horseback riding? Well, Sieska Adderley went horseback riding recently, and she really enjoyed it. Maybe this story will pique your interest in the sport. Now, it's time to saddle up.
Camperdown Equestrian Center has taught thousands of children how to ride horses. But you wouldn't believe how it all got started. Owner Pierre Depuge says the nonprofit organization actually started off as a fluke.
It was a horse show at the racetrack, as a matter of fact, given to by the Humane Society. But I had my horses out there too. I had 2 horses then. And I said, well, I've got a couple acres at Camperdown that I bought for my children. And while they're away at school and what have you, we can use that. So here we are, the 48 years later.
My colleague Debbie and I recently took our first lesson at Camperdown. There, I met Coco, the horse I would ride. But before I could mount up, Coco had to be prepared. President Mitzi Thompson indicated that the detail-oriented process involves the tightening of the girth that must be even on both sides, placing a clean leather bridle on his face, and this is all done on the horse's left side because that's how they're trained. She says this ensures that both the rider and the horse are safe. Thompson reveals what our initial lesson consisted of.
We'll get you on. You'll use a mountain block to get up there because he's kind of tall and we'll have to help you get up there. And we have a rider here that's going to lead you around. She'll tell you what to do with your reins, how to steer maybe, depending on how comfortable you are. And you'll walk around the ring a little bit. You will not be trotting and you'll not be going for a gallop today.
Thompson, who has been riding since the age of 12, notes that the benefits are endless, especially for children. That's why both she and Depuge are hoping for more to join the sport.
It teaches children discipline, teamwork, love for animals, I suppose, and towards the people, interaction of people. I think it's an all-round thing.
They were right. The experience was like no other. Debbie and I had an amazing time, and I left Camperdown that day having learned this lesson.
So in this case, it's definitely okay to horse around, especially on my new friend, Coco. Sieska Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Well, Sieska, now you know, Fisher, I've done horseback riding in Harbor Island before, so I guess we can go out and
I haven't seen it, Sieska hasn't seen it, so you didn't do no horseback riding, but we're going to try and outdo Sieska and Debbie. I'm going to find somebody that has a bull. You and I are going to ride the bull before Christmas. We're going to be adventurous. We're going to ride a bull. We're going to ride a bull. And we're going to outdo Sieska and Debbie.
I will accept that challenge.
Oh, thank you.
So what's coming up in sports?
Coming up in sports, the private schools, they're into softball championship mode now. And also, I got a chance to sit down with one of the country's best legends in boxing.
That story and more ahead in sports.
Was the talk of the town, but get ready for more.
More energy, more excitement, exhilarating, compelling, informative, educational talk on The Conversation.
I'm Shanique Miller. Pull up a chair with a cup of tea and join me weekdays at 4 on Radio Bahamas, 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and The Light, 810 AM for The Conversation. I'm excited to have you around the table.
1540 AM, 104.5 FM plays all the Bahamian hits.
Just call my name, 'cause love is crazy and understanding.
All the hits, one station. The Bahamas is moving to the music. Music that makes you feel good.
The scent of your skin is intoxicating.
Home of the #1 Bahamian music beat, 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, the People Station.
Good morning once again. The championship matchups are set after Wednesday's private school softball playoffs. In junior girls play, Charles W. Sanders stops SAC in their tracks 11-1 and moves on to face QC. While in senior boys played with SAC 16, Charles W. Sanders won. SAC will square off against Queens College in that division. And in junior boys, it was a thriller as SAC got the big hit when it counted most. They edged Nassau Christian Academy Crusaders 6-5, Donovan Butler and Lake Forest, and the Big Red Machine will now face the Comets of Queens College.
Our game plan was to come out here today and send a message. We came out, we played as a cohesive unit. We played to the best of our abilities and we executed our game plan. We came out victorious.
We came out here to impress. We wanted to show what we got, and we're ready for the finals. QC on the way.
And now to the senior girls, where SAC had a much easier time sending Queens College flying with a 7-3 win.
Both teams are talented, but it just came down to who wanted it more. And we just did what our coach told us to do and executed what we did in practice, and we came out with the win.
The annual Best of the Best Regatta is set for December 6th through 9th at the Monarchy Foreshore. Minister responsible for regattas in the country, the Honorable Michael Pintard, announcing plans for what is expected to be, once again, the best ever.
Having met with my team and participated in some of the planning, I am fully confident that we are on track to surpass the mark set last year for the second Best of the Best Regatta. This being our third year, we believe that we have made significant strides forward, not only in the sport of sloop sailing, but in sailing in general. In our third year, we are hitting our stride with a number of new developments. I'm pleased to announce that we are hosting more than 50 of the best sloops and will be fielding a competitive race, not just in the A class, but certainly in the B and C classes as well.
Well, look who I ran into. Sugar Time. Edward Sugar Kid Booth celebrated his 85th birthday on the weekend. The legendary boxer and promoter still has all the talks that made him one of the most vocal Bahamian sports figures of all time. Once you got to get a chance to sit down with Sugar yesterday.
Sugar, that's me.
Where did the name Sugar come from?
Well, I get it from Leonard, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Oh, okay.
That's where I get from Sugar Ray Leonard. He was a good, all sugar good. So that's where I get that from.
Yeah.
But when I drop into the ring, I don't warm up from the outside a little bit. So when the bell rings, I just light on you, light on and finish you off quick.
Now make sure to tune in this evening. You see he has that big gold chain, didn't get rid of that, and he didn't get rid of that talk. Make sure to tune in to the evening sports later on this evening for all from this Sugar. And that's going to be it for sports. I'm Charles Fisher. Thanks for watching.
More Bahamians are being encouraged to get involved in fishing and farming in an overall view of growing our agriculture industry, putting the Bahamas in a better position to not only feed ourselves, but create a sustainable food chain of produce for export. Hello, I'm Carla Palmer. In the next episode of Agriculture Now, we'll explore the potential of the fisheries sector. Join me on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m. for Agriculture Now. That's Agriculture Now on Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
As an artist, I travel all over the world and I find inspiration all around me. From the people and especially the environment. I love the Bahamas with all its natural beauty. From Abaco in the north to Inagua in the south and all the wonderful and colorful islands in between. But we must all do our part to keep the Bahamas healthy and clean, now and for the future generations. That's why I want you to find a little time to do your part. I'm doing my part because I care. Do you?
Right here, man. Oh, not the cool one.
Busted! Busted! Don't you know you guys are breaking the law by not using your seat belts?
Man, Charlie, man, I'm using my seat belt.
Wrong!
The seat belt is not for opening your alcoholic drink. It is for saving lives. And by the way, for those of you who continue to drink and drive, we're on the lookout for you too.
In our final look at weather, 22 days remaining in the tropical cyclone season and no activity anticipated over the next 5 days. And that's always a good news. High pressure collapsing across the Bahamas, so there will be a reduction in the winds, particularly over the northwest Bahamas, around 10 to 15 knots, remaining about 12 to 18 knots in the central and southeastern islands. Our forecast for today, partly sunny with a brief shower or two in spots, the high temperature getting up to a warm 85 degrees. And tonight, we're looking at patchy clouds, still very mild, 73 for your low temperature, and the extended weather forecast over the next 7 days, mid-80s during the daytime and some low to mid-70s during the nighttime. Lots of sunshine heading into the weekend, but there is a frontal system heading this way. Would not get here until the middle part of next week. Dawn?
Thanks a lot, Basil. And just before we go, we'd like to send out a special happy belated birthday to our weather guy extraordinaire, Basil Dean. And you can also tune in at 6 for a 2-hour newscast. Happy 30th birthday, Basil. And that does it for the morning edition. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Once again, I'm LaDawn Davis. See you right back here on Friday morning.